The streetcar project is the first major transit-oriented project for the downtown district. There used to be a streetcar, oddly enough, that ran exactly where the present one is running, even right up to the gates of the university back at the turn of the last century. So it's going to connect the university all the way through downtown, 4th Avenue and the west side, and be the first in many legs of what we hope is a valley-wide transportation system.
You know, it's about priorities. How can approximately 200 million transit dollars be put into that streetcar, which is about moving people from the U of A to just the other side of downtown? It's a waste. It's really about gentrification. It's really about economic development, not about transit. And its basic purpose is to enrich people of property on or near the streetcar line, both 4th Avenue and through downtown. Public money has been invested big time into this downtown, the streetcar, the underpass, the Maynards over there, the train depot place. They've invested all kinds of money.
The investment that we make in transit is important to poor people, and it's important to the environment. I've always said that transit dollars are some of the best money spent because they serve so many purposes for the public. I think the concern is whether or not we can budget the transit system in a way that keeps it affordable and accessible, even as we try and draw more and more riders on board.
I believe it's an important project to change downtown and to change the perception of our walkable urban downtown dense core. And I think it's going to be a really important contributor to that. I think we're going to get a lot more students living in those houses not even needing cars. I believe the impact and the benefit to downtown will be significant enough that it's worth the cost. When the streetcar is in place, the property values of 4th Avenue and every place along the streetcar are going to rise. And all of a sudden it'll make more sense for those businesses who don't need a pedestrian heavy area. It might make more sense for them to sell their buildings or move somewhere else, say to an area where the rents will be cheaper. I think rents will go up, and I think that it's possible that chains will move in. I hope that those areas are able to maintain their uniqueness. I know that the Gap was at one time along this, what is now the streetcar line, and they didn't survive. They moved out.
Most bus systems are justified for people that don't have cars as sort of social equity reasons. I think in a way there's sort of different market segments. Streetcars just provide a better quality of service in many ways. They're smoother, they're quieter, they're safer, they're faster. During the so-called Great Transportation Conspiracy, when we replaced our streetcar systems with buses, public transit ridership overall just plummeted. South Tucson, that route, if you look at ridership on Suntran, those were the heavily traveled bus routes. If you look at schedules, though, the kind of people that would ride a light rail as a modern streetcar system at all different hours of the day and night, I think the student demographic is a good one to target there. And that's been the bugaboo of a lot of transit systems. They're crowded during rush hour and empty the rest of the time.
If I can just get on a trolley somewhere, go downtown, I would use the stores. But we've changed to a Walmart economy. And so stores downtown, that's not going to bring more. We used to go there in the 1950s. My mother would take us, and there were stores, and they did that kind of stuff. We went downtown at Christmas time. All the department stores had window. If you've seen The Christmas Story, that stuff is what I saw in Tucson in the 1950s. And the bedroom suburb, you want to have a brand new ranch house. You don't want to live in close. And that's not going to be reversed, especially in Tucson, with the suburbs are just going farther and farther out.
We did oxygen slash T-bar and we had a bunch of recipes, a bunch of different herbal teas, and we figured that, you know, 4th Avenue was a great location. Just, it's always been a great place for, you know, experimental type businesses, or like, you know, just the culture that existed was great for it. We were open for about a month, and then we had construction from the actual drainage. So there was a fence in front of our front door about 3 feet out, and then with the fence coming up, it became, you know, nobody was going down that street whatsoever. And when that came down, it was about, I think, less than a month before they actually started the construction on 4th Avenue itself and started closing everything down. And at that point, it was just, foot traffic was just ridiculous, and that's a lot what we were basing on, you know, clientele on.
Streetcar project did provide assistance that went into all the businesses to help them by looking at their business plans, helping them plan ahead for the delays, helping them sharpen their marketing and PR efforts. But outside of that, there hasn't been money in the budgets to do much about any of that.
You know, they offered web design help or consultation, like looking over what processes we could do to get our name out there, and nothing that they could really help us on was very useful. They would contact us asking how everything was going, how we were, you know, if we were suffering from the construction. I mean, the answer was usually, yeah, you know, it's pretty obvious that there's not people here on 4th Avenue now. It was about a month into the streetcar construction when we realized that the business itself wasn't going to be financially feasible because of the lack of customer base we had, as well as, you know, the financial strife that we were finding ourselves in by simply not turning a profit for about 3-4 months in a row. And it just became a choice that we had to make. We just didn't figure that we could survive another 3 months of no student activity because of the summer, as well as, you know, no city activity, and it was just going to ruin us.
I think there's a recognition that auto traffic is not sustainable for a whole lot of reasons. And while people may be critical of the investment in the streetcar, look at the investment that we make, not only to build a road, but then to maintain it and to widen it and to sustain auto traffic. So to me, I think the investment is worth it. I think linking the university and downtown makes a whole lot of sense. All classes of people, all races and ethnicities, all ages. That's what makes an urban area exciting.
It's a downtown for everybody, and don't even think about kicking out the poor people.